Welcome, one and all, to The Late Show. I'm your host, Stephen Colbert. It is exactly 1 year since Joe Biden stood on the Capitol steps and took the oath of office. It seems like it's been a big year. It has been a big year. It seems like just yesterday our democracy was being held hostage by a cabal of obstructionists who didn't want every vote counted. Oh, wait. That was yesterday. Now, Biden has accomplished everything he has set out to do, not everything. He promised no malarkey, but lawyers made him change it to produced in a factory that also processes malarkey. Biden is determined, he is determined to let the doubters know he will last another year. So yesterday, he held a marathon 2-hour press conference. I say kudos to him. The only marathon most 79-year-olds complete is a MeTV's Monday Matlock block. In fact, it's a good show. It's a quality show. In fact, Biden wasn't scheduled to go that long, but you got to give the people what they want.
Okay, whoa. Hang on, guys. We've only gone an hour and 20 minutes. I'll keep going. But I'm going to go. Let me get something straight here. How long are you guys ready to go? You want to go for another hour or two? Okay, I'm going to go. I tell you what, folks, I'm going to go another 20 minutes till 1:15, okay?
You want more, Joe? You want more? Okay. I'll tell you what. Okay, that's good. That's good. It's because my friend Commodore Lionel Richie once said, we're going all night long, all night, all night. All night long. For the next 20 minutes. I'm 79, I gotta pee. Today. Today, Biden did a little damage control over some of the things he said yesterday about the looming Russian invasion of Ukraine. Now, if you haven't been paying attention to what's going on for weeks, Russian President Vladimir Putin has been massing troops on Ukraine's border because we really don't know. One advisor to the Kremlin, who was asked what Putin was trying to accomplish, replied, "The expert opinion that I can authoritatively declare is, who the heck knows? This may lead to World War III. This is the way the world ends. Not with a bang, but I don't know." But when asked what Putin was going to do, Biden wasn't nearly so vague.
My guess is he will move in. He has to do something.
He has to do something? I'd hate to see Joe as a hostage negotiator. Why don't we all just calm down? You just let everyone go, okay? Or shoot the hostages. You got to do something. I want to be home in time for Matlock. Now, here's the thing. A lot of props tonight. Here's the thing. Thank you, sir. Here's the thing. Last week, administration officials told reporters that there would be no distinction made between a small incursion into the Russian-speaking part of Ukraine and an all-out invasion of Ukraine. But Biden begged to differ.
It's one thing if it's a minor incursion and then we end up having a fight about what to do and not do, etc.
You can't tell them that a little bit is okay. There's a reason Nancy Reagan's anti-drug campaign wasn't just say no unless it's your cousin's wedding. A little bump of coke in the bathroom's not gonna kill you. YOLO. Biden, it's your cousin's wedding. Come on, you'll dance. You'll dance. Biden did have a warning, sort of.
I think he'll pay a serious and dear price for it that he doesn't think now will cost him what it's going to cost him. And I think he'll regret having done it.
I wouldn't say regret is a big concern for a man who shows this much nipple. You can use him as one of those springy doorstops. Brrr. Brrr. That cat plays with it. Biden then spelled out that Russia can't afford the sanctions he would impose if they did invade.
Everybody talks about how Russia has control over the energy supply that Europe absorbs. Well, guess what? That money that they earn from that makes about 45% of the economy. I don't see that as a one-way street. They go ahead and cut it off. It's like my mother used to say, you're biting your nose off to spite your face.
I'm pretty sure the expression is cut off your nose to spite your face. I'm not sure it's even possible to bite off your own nose. Hiya. 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 Mama Biden was loaded with folksy sayings like, time flies when you throw a watch. Absence makes the heart grow fungus. And a bird in the hand is worth two up the butt. That one's true. That one is true. There's also news about former President Tyrannosaurus Rex. Last night, the Supreme Court rejected his bid to withhold documents from the January 6th committee by a vote of 8-1. He lost again. He is losing so much, he's going to get tired of losing. No surprise, the Supremes rejected his argument. The former president wanted to use executive privilege to keep the January 6th documents secret, even though President Biden declined to invoke executive privilege over them. He wanted some sort of executive privilege. Well, I'm sorry, sir. The only privileges former presidents are entitled to are free paddleboard rentals, 20% off at Michael's Crafts, and discounts on Jimmy and Roz Carter's amazing shrinking powder. That's not Photoshop. That's not shrink ray.
Honey, I shrunk the kids.
Within hours of the decision, the National Archives began turning over hundreds of pages of documents to the committee. And they are getting some juicy stuff, y'all. Among the January 6th materials the ex-president wanted to keep secret, proposed talking points for Kelly McEnany, a draft text of a presidential speech for the Save America rally preceded the mob attack, and a handwritten note concerning January 6th. Now, we do not know who wrote the note. All we know is that it was written on a burger wrapper. But there's no way of knowing, John. There's no way of knowing who wrote that.
It's hard to tell.
But it's not all good news from Washington, unfortunately. Last night, the Democrats came up short on a last-ditch effort to advance the voting rights bill. Here's the crazy part. Senate Democrats, who have a majority, unanimously supported the bill. But to pass it, they needed to win a separate vote to change the filibuster rules, which failed thanks to two who voted against it, Democratic senators and Republican senators Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema. So they supported the voting rights bill, but they were unwilling to do what it takes to pass it. If that makes you mad, you're in good company, because last night, Senator Bernie Sanders brought the heat to the meat.
If you think this bill makes sense, and if you're worried about the future of American democracy, and if you're prepared to vote for the bill, then why are you wasting everybody's time and not voting for the rule change that allows us to pass the bill? You know, it's like inviting somebody to lunch, putting out a great spread, and saying you can't eat.
It's happened to me many times. You arrive for the event, and they say the luncheon table opens after the speakers, then why lay out the cold cuts? And why am I seeing a cheap supermarket deli tray? The working people of this country deserve no less than freshly cut Zabar's pastrami, lean, your choice of mild or spicy mustard, 2 soups, 1 lentil, 1 cream, no paper plates. It's a shanda. It's a shanda. Where is my soup?
Now, Sinema and Manchin don't deserve all of the rage. Lucky For us, there's plenty left over for the leader of the anti-voter coalition, Senate Minority Leader and sloppy first attempt at a pancake with blueberry eyes, Mitch McConnell. Yesterday, McConnell was asked about his reasons for opposing voter protections, and he made a very telling distinction about the way he categorizes voters.
What's your message for voters of color who are concerned that without the John L. Lewis Voting Rights Act, they're not going to be able to vote in the midterm?
Well, the concern is misplaced because if you look at the statistics, African-American voters are voting in just as high a percentage as Americans.
Wow. How embarrassing that it came out exactly how he meant it. Despite what Stonewall McConnell says there are a lot of problems with access to the polls. Take Texas. The League of Women Voters in Houston requested 16,000 voter registration forms before the March primary. They do it every 2 years. But the Texas Secretary of State's office refused this time, claiming it has only a limited amount of voter registration applications due to supply chain issues, increasing the cost of paper. Okay, then print it on something Texas does have, like guns or giant toast. The Secretary of State's office gave the league an option, though, saying, we have offered a copy of the print-ready PDFs to your organization so they can print the desired quantity. So a charity is responsible for providing a basic governmental function? Well, this is Texas, where the highway signs say, road ends, BYO bridge. We got a great show for you tonight. My guests are Dionne Warwick and David Cross. But when we come back, sexy can